If you've ever run ads and wondered to yourself why sometimes they're profitable and making the return that you want, and other times you just can't seem to get them where you want, this video is going to make a few things click. Because ads being consistently profitable isn't about better creatives, more testing, or spending more money. It comes down to one shift that most coaches never make. But once you do make it, ads stop feeling like a gamble and start behaving predictably. And this shift is what generated the coaches that I helped over $1 million in revenue. I'm going to show you exactly what that shift was for me and for the coaches that I help, how it changes everything downstream, and how to apply it to your own ads. Let's first of all start with though where most people get it wrong, and then I'll break down for you the massive shift that I went through. Now, the place that most people go wrong when it comes to advertising, increasing their ad spend, taking their ad spend to the next level, is they try too hard. Because look, at the end of the day, I think the thing that most people forget when they're running their adverts is that the principles of how you advertise, what makes an advert successful, and what gets somebody to click is the exact same. Whether you're spending $10 a day, $100 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, the principles of advertising stay the same. But what I see happening is that when people are trying to get that consistent return and profitability, fear kicks in. They make irrational decisions. They try and make decisions because they're scared that they're going to waste budget, scared that the competition's ads are going to perform better than theirs, scared that they won't get the return that they want. And what that happens then is it takes people off the path of what originally worked at the lower budget range. And then that takes them off of how to get profitable overall. And that was exactly the shift that I took. It was nothing else other than that. Because I'd gone through all the ad trainings, I'd bought the courses, I'd done the mentorships, I'd done the programs. I'd had successful campaigns, I'd had unsuccessful campaigns. I'd made great returns and I'd lost budget. But when I got to a point when I started running my ads at a higher level and pushing them further, the one thing that I realized was that I was just literally trying too hard. It's as simple as that. And so the biggest shift that I took that made sure that my adverts were consistently profitable, my campaigns were constantly bringing me in clients that I wanted to work with and clients that were paying me higher ticket, which meant I was getting my returns, is I went back to the basics. And I'm going to break down what those basics are for you now, and they're going to sound overly simple. But if you build your campaigns with these basics in mind, I guarantee you that every single time that you will be profitable. Because here's the thing, most of the noise and the stuff that is out there online, we all know it. We all know the basics, the foundations of how to run it. Now, obviously, if you've never run ads before, then you'll learn what these basics are and that will help you. But if you've already been running ads and they've been successful for you, then you will know a lot of this stuff. But sometimes I think because of all the information that's out there, all the new competition, all the fear that people are trying to instill in one another, it causes so much confusion and so much friction between what we know we should be doing and what we're told we should do. And then the fear factor that then comes in about us losing our budget, wasting, not being profitable, etc., etc. So it's so key to just remember these basics that I'm about to outline for you. The first one, which all of you should know if you've run campaigns before, is the job of the ad is to get people to click. That's it. You're not selling your coaching. You're not selling your service. You're not trying to show them and convince them on how good you are as an individual. All you have to do is convince them and make it as convincing as possible for somebody to click. And I see it with people who even have big budgets. They get lost in that. They get lost in the fact that it can be that simple and that that's all they need to do. Just make it attractive enough for somebody to click on the advert. And again, these basics are so basic, right? They're so fundamental and so foundational that everybody should know this stuff. But again, you get lost in all the complicated marketing jargon and techniques and frameworks that you could use, throwing rocks at your enemies, confirming their suspicions, allaying their fears, all of this stuff that we can do to make our campaigns more effective. But at the end of the day, the foundations of what works is what works for a reason. So that's the first thing. Just always remind yourself, you just want to make it as attractive as possible to click. And again, even that little shift in myself, I knew that. That's one of the first things you learn when you're running ads. But I got too deep into the trenches of all the technical stuff that you could do. And just by bringing it back and going, okay, let's just make it attractive for the person that I want to click. That shift was more than enough to help me to really get back on track with making my campaigns constantly profitable. Now, following from that, the next basic principle which will help you is that to make it enticing enough for your dream client to want to click and to click on the advert that you are making is offer them something so valuable that it makes it silly for them not to click on it. It's literally it. There's nothing more to it than that. Think about your target avatar. Think about exactly who you want to attract and think about where they are currently on their journeys, what they would find extremely valuable and extremely useful. And this then leads me to the next point is, right, just really take some time to map out exactly who your client avatar is, exactly at what point of their journey you want to meet them on, and just think to yourself, what would they actually value? What would they have to see right now that would make them go, oh my God, that is something that I need. This person is offering it free or a low ticket, whatever you're doing. let me click on this advert. And again, by taking time to sit back down again and realign yourself with exactly who you're trying to attract, that does crazy things to how far your copy will go and how effective it will be. So let me give you an example of this. Early 2025, I ran campaigns for free social media audits for coaches to show them why their Instagrams aren't performing as well as they wanted to. Now, what that tended to attract for me was very, very beginner, early stage coaches who had never really used social media, who didn't really know what they were supposed to be doing, who had never got clients online, etc., etc. So that attracted a beginner level of avatar. I've recently done a new campaign. I'm still doing that campaign where I did case study breakdowns. So I showed behind the scenes of exactly what my strategy was, how it worked for coaches in particular. And again, by doing that, what that did is it attract more advanced coaches. And by me sitting down and taking time to understand why the social media audit attracted beginners and why the case study breakdown attracted more advanced coaches, that then helped me going forward with my campaigns in terms of what to do. But if I hadn't sat down and really mapped out my client avatar, mapped out what they want, mapped out where I wanted to meet them, I wouldn't have been able to get that differentiation and understand why each one didn't work. So go back to the drawing board, sit down, think about your client avatar, think about what type of client avatar you want within your niche, and what they will find attractive at their point in their journey. Now, the next basic principle I'll give to you, again, super, super simple, but most people forget it, is that once you find the thing that's going to be super valuable for your target audience, also keep in mind that the easiest way to make your ads consistently profitable is just to speak to people that know they have a problem and know that there are solutions to their problems. Either both of those groups or one of them. Again, that's an easy, simple win for your advertising, because then the only people that are going to resonate with that message, again, are people who have a problem and they know they have a problem, and they also know that there are solutions to their problems. So the ones who engage and interact are people who are more likely to take action, to purchase, and to move forward with your coaching, your service, whatever it is that you're offering. And again, this advice is really simple. I'm not sharing with you rocket science here. And this is the thing, like, advertising isn't rocket science. I think sometimes the issue is people overcomplicate this stuff and they get too much in their heads about it, and they pedestalize advertising campaigns and making them profitable. But realistically, it's not difficult. You are talking to somebody who has a problem, making sure you're saying something to them which they're going to find attractive and offering something to them that they're going to find attractive, and writing that advert in a way which is going to make it silly for them not to click on it. That's literally it. And again, what we're doing here isn't rocket science. Again, I'm going to say that. We are not putting spaceships and humans on Mars like Elon Musk. We are writing ads on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever platform you're on, just getting somebody to click. I think that's another really important key shift. Don't put this stuff on a pedestal. Don't make it out to be hard, because it's not. The basics and the foundational principles are there for a reason, because it works and it's been proven, tried and tested. And for me, that was all I did. I brought myself back down to the basics. I stopped getting caught up in what my competitors were doing. I stopped getting caught up in what I thought was right and what I thought was wrong. And I stopped trying to make everything fancy and over the top. And those basics are the foundations of the things that make sure that my ads are always profitable. And every single time I turn a new campaign on, I know that I will get a return from it because of this. So I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, my Instagram's below. I'll be more than happy to have a look at your advertising campaigns and give you some guidance. On the other hand, if you want to talk to me one-to-one, my calendar's below. So feel free to book in a chat.